All right, let me just make certain that everything is where it needs to be. It is Thursday night. We are very quiet, very warm around the area, and not much is going to be happening anytime soon where the forecast is concerned, unfortunately, but we'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. Welcome to everybody. It is, again, as I said, Thursday night. It's about 10 before 10 Eastern Time from Chattanooga, Tennessee in the United States. From anybody tuning in from way out of town, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek with the Thursday night edition of News 12's video weather blog, Weather Overtime. I'd like to say hello to everybody watching on our Facebook channel, and brand new edition here, we are simulcasting on our Twitch TV channel as well. So to anybody tuning in on Twitch, welcome to the show. Yes, this is a very rudimentary, filled with talk type of blog situation, and I don't play video games on here or do music or macrame or anything else. So we just talk about weather. I like weather. I like talking about it. So this is my little addition to the blogosphere, keeping up to date with what's going on out there and doing a whatever I can to get people interested in science and weather and things like that. So if you're just tuning in on Twitch TV, meteorology, science communications, all kinds of things about amateur radio from time to time, that's all the things that I'm interested in. So again, a good opportunity to find out more about what's going on out there. But if you are on Twitch, again, please be kind. This is my second time doing this, so it is a little bit on the somewhat cluttered side at first. I'm working on putting everything together. So again, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to talk about weather, this is the place to be. And we'll give you an idea as to what's going on here. We cover the areas in and around North Georgia, western areas of North Carolina, northeastern Alabama, and back into and around portions of around the area of northeast Alabama, and that's southeast Tennessee as well. We'll get to radar here in just a little bit. So everybody on Twitch, thank you very much for tuning in for tonight. Again, this is weather-oriented type stuff. I am a meteorologist, chief meteorologist for News 12 WDEF in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So now that I think we are all streaming properly, let's go ahead and get started with what is going on out there. It's a nice night. We did have a few thunderstorms out there earlier. Again, the News 12 viewing area, for those of you who are watching out here, again, we're watching the areas in and around northwest Georgia, northeastern Alabama, southeast Tennessee, and back over to around western areas of North Carolina. That's our prime viewing area counties. We don't really go too much farther outside of that due to the signal strength, but at least we do show you these counties here to give you an idea as to where we are. We're not nationwide. This is not the Weather Channel. You got to go south to Atlanta for that. Again, for right now, we're just seeing a few scattered showers, a little bit more activity down between Atlanta, Birmingham, and Montgomery. A few more scattered showers and thunderstorms down that direction, and that's, again, drifting on down to the south and west. Not really much more than that at this point in time, and not really showing much of anything developing through the rest of the evening. It looks like a bit of a shower trying to take place. Might even be a reverse roost ring around Scottsboro. We get a couple of pretty good roost rings around the Scottsboro area in Jackson County in Alabama, right around that portion of the river and lake. So we might be picking up more bugs, and also the potential, we're looking right in that area right about there. That's where we see what's called a roost ring in the morning, to where you see a circle expanding on the radar. That is where you see bugs taking off from time to time, or birds even in the morning, depending on where you're close to. But with that much water out there, that again is a good possibility. We're seeing some biologics on the radar for right now. Evan Carter from West Tennessee on Facebook. Thanks for joining us for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate everybody checking in from wherever you might happen to be. Thank you very much. Nobody checking in on Twitch just yet, but that's okay. We're brand new here, so probably not too many people watching at this point. Downtown Chattanooga, Finley Stadium lit up quite nicely, and just about able to see the outline of Lookout Mountain off there in the distance beyond the skyline. So not doing too bad on the visibility here. Let's take a spin around the area and see what else we've got from Lee Point, Highway 153 and 64. Looking off to the west, I was hoping to get a good sunset time lapse tonight, and whether or not we captured that, I'll have to go back into the archives and see if we actually did manage to get a good view for tonight. Had some excellent sunset shots in the last couple of days, so not doing too badly there. From Island Cove Marina and Resort, looking to the west, again, a few clouds across the area. Sylvester the Spider sitting right on through here and around the area of the Chattanooga Airport back to the south and west of this location. All of this courtesy of the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. Going toward our studio, several stories above my head. There's Lookout Mountain, the slope, beautiful sunsets usually off to the west as we look toward that direction. And one more stop. Let's go see what's happening on the roadways at 2475 South Central Chattanooga from the CHI Memorial Stadium. And so far, again, looking at decently clear views out there for the time being. Little hazy off in the distance. We usually can see the lights up on top of Signal Mountain off that direction, but just a little bit hazy. Some of the radio tower lights just barely visible out there, but not doing too bad, again, for visibility for tonight. Temperatures for this evening, that's the big weather story. Today was the hottest day of 2023 so far. Whether or not tomorrow tops that, well, we'll have to wait until this time tomorrow to see what the situation is there. Again, for tonight, it's going to be on the muggy side. Temperature is rather mild, and we're not going to go too much further downwards than this number. It's going to be back in the mid to upper 70s for lows. We'll show you the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Nice views from around the area from the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. Nice view from inside our West Shore home weather window picture of the day from the online ID BridgeCat. Didn't get a proper name or location. Excuse me, but Cat Marlou was rather worried about the storm warnings going on. We were simulcasting on air and online about a week or so ago when some pretty good rumbles of thunder rolled through the area. This, again, was part of our coverage here at News 12 as those storms went past Chattanooga and into northwestern Georgia and northeastern Alabama. Some hail, a lot of gusty winds, lots of heavy rainfall with those storms, and Marlou the cat was right on top of that. So, Bridge Cat, thank you very much for sending that in. If you've got weather pictures, please send them in to us. We'd love to see what you're seeing out there, and put your pictures in the West Shore Home Weather Window Picture of the Day slot. If you've got them, just email them to us at pictures@wdef.com. As long as it's weather-related or anything that you're seeing around the area. News 12's anchor Andrew Harrison is off in the Great American West sending us pictures from Yellowstone National Park, and he was at the Corncob Palace earlier today. So not too shabby to see some of that taking place out west. And then you can drop into social media. We have, again, the big three. We have News 12 Now on Instagram, facebook.com/WDEF News 12, and WDEF News 12 on Twitter, or I guess I should be saying X right now, or whatever they decide to call it in the near future. We are not too certain, but one of these days might be something different. You don't know. But as for right now, on Twitter/X, find us at WDEF News 12 for more information there. Heading out on the golf course tomorrow. Not good news. You will not need the cardigan or anything to warm you up because temperatures for highs will be in the mid to upper 90s. Humidity is going to be a little bit less, not by much. We've got a lot of tropical air around the area, so we may see a little bit less in the way of problems with the heat index. Again, the air temperatures, upper 90s. Combine that with the humidity, and you get that feels like heat index, and that is what we're seeing out there for, again, the possibilities tomorrow. Now, that's very close to where we should be for a heat advisory. Not seeing that for right now, and that's whether or not it stays that way. We'll have to wait and see whether or not the National Weather Services that cover this particular area issue anything. We do not have a heat advisory in effect for now, but about 25 different states have some form of heat advisory taking place into tomorrow. Now, for the News 12 viewing area, no counties are listed at this time, including Hamilton County for Chattanooga. We do not have anything showing up right now, but that could change as the conditions change. So definitely want to keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you updated as to what is going on out there. And for right now, this is something that's going to be just as important as any severe weather threat, because heat out there can be dangerous, especially if you're outdoors for a very long period of time and don't take care of yourself out there. That's something, again, to watch out for in the course of the next several days, because not much of anything is going to be changing. Almanac page real quick, taking a look at the hottest day. Ooh, wow, that's a brand new one right there. That within 6 degrees of a record high last set back in 1952, and a record low of the upper 50s that hasn't been broken for over a century. That's as cool as it gets in this area of the country for this time of year, so you know you're in the dog days of summer when that is taking place. But again, that was our high temperature for the day. Last I checked, it was at 96, now up to 98, so 7 degrees above normal on the high, and within 6 of a record high temperature, so came uncomfortably close to that going on across much of the area. Just absolutely hot conditions out there once again for the next few days. Let's go ahead and give you an idea as to what's going on and set things up. High pressure well in control of the southeastern coastal area and back across the east coast, but there are signs that this is going to be relaxing maybe by just a bit and dropping a little farther back off to the south and east. We're talking about these areas of high pressure right around here. If these relax and head on down to the south a little bit, then a couple of these fronts, very weak and kind of very stagnant way up to our north, these, if they get closer to us, will give us the potential of some more thunderstorms coming on through, but not great chances. I wish they were, but unfortunately that's about as good as it gets for right now. And anything beyond that really just doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. From the Climate Prediction Center, responsible for, again, the extended outlooks and the amazing amount of heat that's been stuck across the area, is starting to wane a little bit. This area here showing the above normal chances of temperatures going on through with very hot conditions seems to be kind of just dwindling a little bit, not by much, but enough that maybe we will see less hot conditions, not cool, into the next several days. So again, that's about as good as what we're going to be able to see for right now. We'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Also, some good news here is that we are seeing less in the way of potential of drier conditions out there. The above normal dry chances has shrunk down to the Gulf Coast, and the above normal chances of rainfall, just a little bit above normal, has started to get a little bit closer to us. So we're seeing equal normal chances for rain in the next several days. We will pick up some chances, but not by much. We're just not looking at a lot of any activity going on where it comes to rainfall. Let's go ahead and show you the 7-day forecast and give you an idea as to what we're looking at. Again, through the course of the next several days, including the weekend, we will be back into the mid-90s. And then if that front gets close enough to us, and I have to really say confidence is not high at this point that we're going to be seeing a lot of relief on that. If it does, we'll see better chances of rain coming up on Saturday and Sunday, and then back in the sunshine once again, but at least we will reduce the temperatures by just a little bit. Not by much, but at least we'll get downwards a little bit on there to give us, again, the potential of some less oppressive conditions, because it is going to be just as hot as we saw today over the next several days. So if you have any plans for outdoors, all the way throughout the forecast, you've got the heat and humidity out there, even the lower 90s. If we get enough humidity in the air, that makes it very difficult for the water from your skin, the sweat, to evaporate and take that heat with it. And if a very moisture-rich atmosphere, it's difficult for that sweat to cool you off because there's just so much water vapor out in the atmosphere. So for right now, we're hoping to get a little bit more in the way of good conditions out there, but maybe drying off a little bit. You will see chances of showers and thunderstorms again from Saturday into Sunday. We're not looking at huge potential for right now. Maybe enough to cool us off, probably enough to dump more rainfall into the atmosphere for the time being. But again, for right now, what we're looking at is the potential of some less hot weather coming on through. that's as good a news as we have and probably will have for a while if that medium range forecast from the Climate Prediction Center that I just showed you does anything of coming true for right now. And that's going to be about as good as it gets. Let's go bouncing out to the tropics real quick, and we'll show you a little bit more about what's happening. We do have one leftover system. This was on the National Hurricane Center's radar, so to speak. It was heading toward the east coast. It has now arrived, and it's now giving again potential of more showers and some thunderstorms out across areas around southern Georgia and areas close to around Florida or so. But beyond that, it doesn't look like much for now. It is going to spoil a lot of beach vacations in the course of the next couple of days. We did have dawn out into portions of the Atlantic. That went way on up into areas north and around Iceland, so there's really not that much taking place there. We do have one system that is... Are we doing the updates here, or are we taping the Thursday thing? Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll wrap up here in just a second. Thanks. Live TV, it happens. It's nothing huge. Thank you very much for tuning in on that. But we're going to be taping some stuff here that'll air in the next couple of days. I guess I should say recording. I'm dating myself saying that. One disturbance making its way through the eastern Atlantic, heading toward the Leeward Islands. There's a 40% chance of this developing in the next few days, but high pressure back over the Atlantic and then around portions of the northern United States, those fronts out there, those are going to work together to push this system away from us, possibly past Bermuda. So this, at this time, and if Emily Casulo is watching out there, one of my co-anchors, this stands very little chance of actually becoming Tropical Storm Emily. So sorry about that. This is the E-name storm that we have going on right now. I'm going to go ahead and have to curtail this with our recording happening. Don't forget that if you don't know how to program your weather radio, we can help you do that. All you have to do is let us know. Go to wdef.com/weather for more details and a video about how you can program your weather radio. Teachers and administrators from around the Tennessee River Valley area, if you'd like to have one of our weather staff appear in your classroom talking about science, weather, climate change, emergency communications, weather preparedness, please let us know. We don't just show up to your school. You have to invite us. So if you'd like to have us there, go to our website, wdef.com/weather, and click on Weather in the Classroom for more information on that. That'll about wrap it up for now. It is just past 10 o'clock Eastern Time. So thanks to everybody for joining us for tonight. I'll be on for the evening show, News 12 at 11, coming up a little bit later on. Brian Armstrong will be on the news desk. And, of course, Chip Chapman will have more coming up bright and early tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Thursday evening. And again, stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and at wdef.com/weather.